On Friday, the 28th of September 1979, the 13th 18th Royal Hussars were granted freedom of entry by the Metropolitan Borough of Barnsley. South Yorkshire has long been the main recruiting area for the regiment, and Barnsley is proud that Cannon Hall has been chosen to house the regiment's treasured possessions. The 13th Hussars were formed in 1715, the 18th in 1759. Both fought at Waterloo, and the 13th led the famous charge of the Light Brigade. Of 8 officers and 100 men who took part, only 1 officer and 14 men returned. Both regiments were engaged throughout the Boer War, and in World War I between them fought in the trenches of Flanders and the wilds of Mesopotamia. In 1922, the two amalgamated, with Queen Mary as their Colonel-in-Chief, hence the full title of the 13th 18th Royal Hussars, Queen Mary's Own. The Second World War saw the 13th 18th at Dunkirk, but they returned to mainland Europe in the first wave of amphibious tanks in Normandy, fighting their way across the continent to end the war with the capture of Bremen. Active service twice in Malaya and twice in Aden has been followed by 3 tours in Northern Ireland, as well as service in Germany. The front of the town hall is the scene of final preparations during the morning, and security is tight because the regiment, as well as some of the guests, have been involved with the situation in Northern Ireland. Reveille was at 3 a.m. for the officers and men who are to be on parade today. The short overnight stay was at Sheffield's Endcliffe Hall Territorial Army Centre, and their dawn drive through Sheffield Street gave rise to a rumour, soon dispelled, that the Russians had landed. The car park at Churchfields is the scene for the last-minute checks and instructions, and the crews soon settle down in their vehicles and move off to take up their positions at the town hall. In front of the town hall, numbered seats await the invited guests as security guards high up the town hall scan the scene below. Barnsley's Member of Parliament, Roy Mason, is no stranger, as he was Secretary for Northern Ireland in the last Labour government and has known the regiment since 1962. With the parade at attention, the guidon party moves into position, and a fanfare heralds the appearance from the town hall of the Mayor, Councillor Harry Fish, the Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Albert Bleasby, and the Colonel of the regiment, Major General Stuart Watson, CBE. After an introduction by the Chief Executive, the massed ranks of the Hussars heard the Mayor ask General Watson to accept on their behalf the scroll conferring freedom of entry into the Barnsley Metropolitan Borough.
The ceremony here today is an important one for all. On this very pleasant occasion, I am very proud to place on a much more formal platform.
General Watson, in his reply, referred to the already strong links between the town and the regiment before accepting the scroll from Councillor Fish.
For the most signal honour which you have today conferred upon the 13th and 18th Royal Hussars. The regiment, I know, appreciates that the freedom of entry to the borough is rarely conferred, and far fewer hundreds of men from this borough and the surrounding villages have served with the regiment.
Preceded by the mace, the Mayor, Chief Executive and General Watson moved down from the dais to the saluting base, where the commanding officer, Lieutenant Colonel George Stephen, was waiting to invite the Mayor to inspect the parade. The inspection over, the Mayor and General Watson returned to the saluting base as the regiment prepares to exercise its newly granted freedom to drive through the borough with sabres drawn, guidons unfoiled, and bands playing. Mounted, the commanding officer, Colonel Stephen, the adjutant, Captain Southward, and the guidon party ride past the days to lead the parade, and the vehicles swiftly move up Church Street and round the roundabout to return in squadron order for the drive past. The drive past consists of Land Rovers, Ferret Scout cars, Saracen, Scorpion and Scimitar light tanks. HQ Squadron maintains a speed of 10 miles per hour, C Squadron 20 miles per hour, and B Squadron roar past at an impressive speed of 30 miles per hour. The regimental band, under the direction of Bandmaster Locker, moves off, the task of accompanying the parade over. The mayoral party then enters the town hall for lunch with the invited guests, while the assembled Hussars leave the parade for lunch at the Civic Hall. After lunch, guests gather round the staircase inside the town hall to watch Colonel Stephen present to the borough a beautiful gift in the form of 2 Hussar figures in bronze, one in traditional dress, the other in modern combat dress as used in the Northern Ireland campaign. Afterwards, Councillor Fish gives us a closer look at the gift from the regiment, which will join other treasures in the Mayor's parlour. And so ended an historic day for Barnsley. On the following day, the regiment returned the hospitality by entertaining the mayor and guests from the borough to lunch, held in the delightful surrounding of Cannon Hall Park. Musical accompaniment for the occasion gives Bandmaster Locker's regimental band another opportunity to display their virtuosity, providing an enjoyable background to a happy occasion in beautiful weather. On display for the first time is the Golden Boot Trophy, won just the previous day by the team from C Squadron of the 13th 18th Hussars, beating 39 other teams from 7th Field Force at a march and shoot contest held in Wales. Vehicles on display in Cannon Hall Park attract the local youngsters, good for recruiting and cementing still further the ties between regiment and borough, together in their proud association.